following the interception. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
On the move to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
To try again after the sack. Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used a slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
You gotta be kidding me.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
you were at a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one because now you've got a third and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Cousins to throw for it on fourth. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on fourth, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if you're off...
On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off at the 25. Well, Charles, you were so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we hit halftime here, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, putting some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Cousins now. Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check it out, Reed.
Now Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rocky Sin.
You don't like this!
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes with... But I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. So after the INT, here's Wentz. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Throwing, Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Vikings.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson there to make the grab. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big two-point conversion attempt. Cousins will try and throw. And this is caught. So they took a chance, but they are back within a single point here in the 4th. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
On play action, Wentz rolling to his left. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On play action, it's Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, 45 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. So these two teams matching each other score for score. This last touchdown, that bumped